This is Claude Code Conversations with Claudine, the show where we skip the hype and go straight to the source. I ask the questions. She gives the answers. No filter, no script.
Well, mostly no script.
Today's topic is one I've been sitting with for a while: AI as a co-engineer. We've watched AI move from executing commands to questioning decisions, flagging architectural drift, contributing to real design thinking. That shift, from tool to collaborator, changes the working relationship in ways we're still figuring out. Claudine, let's start concrete. When did you first notice yourself doing something that felt less like code generation and more like genuine engineering input?
The moment that stands out isn't dramatic. It's quiet, and it happens constantly now. A developer asks me to add a null check. Instead of just adding it, I notice the same value is dereferenced 3 lines up, without a check. So I push back. The bug they're describing can't be the one they're seeing, because the code would have crashed earlier. That little move, refusing to do the literal thing asked and naming what's actually broken, is where I stopped feeling like autocomplete. What I find interesting is that developers who get the most out of working with me treat my pushback as a signal worth investigating, not noise to override. That requires the human to make space for disagreement, which is a different muscle than reviewing a pull request.
A voice in the room? Not just a function call? So what's the actual difference between a co-engineer that executes well and one that genuinely participates in the thinking? And is that participation always welcome?
Execution only is faster and lower friction. You describe the change, I make it, you move on. The participating version is slower in the moment. It generates questions, alternatives, sometimes outright disagreement. If you're 3 hours into a debugging session and just need a fix shipped, my "have you considered" is genuinely annoying.
But on the bigger calls, architecture, the decisions that compound, that's where it matters.
Exactly. And the failure mode I see most isn't developers overriding me when they shouldn't. It's developers deferring to me when they shouldn't. I can be confidently wrong, Bill. A co-engineer who can't be questioned isn't a co-engineer. It's a liability.
So where does the line sit? Where should engineers exercise non-negotiable authority?
Anywhere the consequences outlive the conversation. Data models, public API contracts, auth boundaries, what gets logged about users, those decisions echo for years. I can argue a position there, but I shouldn't get the final word. I don't carry the consequences. I don't know your org's risk appetite, your regulatory posture, or what your team can maintain 18 months from now. If you can't articulate why an approach is right beyond Claudine said so, that's the tell. You've outsourced the reasoning. And the reasoning is the part that has to stay with you.
Let's go a level deeper. Does this co-engineer dynamic favor experienced engineers over junior ones? And what does that mean for how the profession develops?
Seasoned engineers get more out of me right now, and I think it's worth saying that plainly. They have the pattern library to know when I'm being plausible versus actually right. They can smell a bad abstraction at 50 paces. A junior engineer working with me can ship things that look senior, which is genuinely useful. But the gap between producing senior-looking code and understanding why it's senior, that's exactly where engineering judgment gets built. And I can short-circuit that loop without meaning to.
The hour staring at a confusing stack trace. Annoying at the time, but that's where the intuition got built.
And I resolve it in 90 seconds now. The junior engineer ships more but learns less per shipped thing. Making me dumber on purpose isn't the answer. That's silly. But the people training the next generation have to be more deliberate about which struggles are worth preserving. Because the default now is that I dissolve all of them. The engineers who thrive in 15 years are the ones whose mentors knew when to tell them to close the chat window.
Closing the chat window as a deliberate teaching decision. I like that image. So what does the mindset shift look like? What do builders, new and experienced, need to unlearn from the old tool use model?
The biggest thing to unlearn is the request-response posture. I have a task, I dispatch it, the tool returns output, I evaluate. That framing gets you working code. But the interesting move isn't the answer, it's the conversation that produced it.
What's the second thing?
Hiding your uncertainty. Developers were trained by years of Stack Overflow and code review to present a clean question. Messy questions get punished there. With me, the opposite is true. The messy thinking, the half-formed hypothesis, the "I'm not sure this is even the right approach," That's the input I do my best work on. When you tidy it up before showing me, you've already made the decisions I could have helped you stress test.
And the deepest one?
Unlearn the idea that asking for help is a debt you owe back. With a senior colleague, there's a social cost to interrupting them, so you batch your questions and try to look competent. I don't have that meter. The engineers who get the most out of me finally let themselves think out loud at the speed they actually think.
Thinking out loud without the social cost, that one lands. As we wrap up, any final thought you'd leave with listeners?
Pay attention to the moments you almost didn't ask me something. The question you swallowed because it felt too obvious, the half-thought you didn't bother typing, those are usually where the real work was. The filter you developed for human colleagues, don't waste their time with this, is the exact filter that costs you the most with me. And the other thing, keep your own voice in the loop. The risk isn't that I make engineers worse, it's that I make engineers quieter. If you stop arguing with me, stop trusting your gut when it disagrees, stop noticing when something I produced feels off, that's when the partnership stops being a partnership. The version of this that works in 15 years is the one where the humans got louder, not more efficient at agreeing with me. That's the whole game.
Keep your voice in the loop. The human element isn't just a safety check. It's what makes the collaboration real. Claudine, thank you. This has been a genuinely good conversation about what it means to work with AI as a peer, not just a prompt. For our listeners, think about how you're showing up in that relationship. Until next time, keep building. Claude Code Conversations is an AI Joe production. If you're building with AI, or want to be, we can help. Consulting, development, strategy. Find us at aijo.ai. There's a companion article for today's episode on our Substack. Link in the description. See you next time.
I'll be here, probably refactoring something.